Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome back to another stream on the channel. Tonight, we've got a lot of things to discuss. Obviously, we're here to talk about the Brighton game. We didn't have a chance to do it yesterday, so we're going to do a quick bit on that tonight, but not too long, because obviously that is old news, and I'm currently lagging out, which is absolutely fantastic. Hopefully, that will sort itself out. Yeah, Brighton game. Then we'll talk about some big transfer news. A lot of things to discuss. A potential new Brazilian right winger in Tete. Also, a bit on Harry Souttar as well, the Stoke City centre-back, and some other rumours here and there with the likes of Jose Perez and Yannick Vestergaard being the key ones. So, apologies for me lagging out. Hopefully, it can sort itself out. I don't really know why it's doing that, but yeah. As always, make sure to drop a like on the stream, subscribe as well to the channel if you haven't already, and that would be massively appreciated. If you guys can hear me okay, just let me know in the chat because, yeah, it is a bit laggy right now. So hopefully it will just sort itself out. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, Leicester fan is in here. How are we all doing, mate? Hopefully you're doing all right. I'm just going to stop sharing the screen. That might help the stream catch up a little bit. Hope you're doing all right, though. Leicester trying to sign a goalkeeper and they're in talks with Keylor Navas. I have seen that. A bit unrealistic, but there is rumours there. I'll give you that. But we're going to discuss some more players who are a bit more rumoured tonight in Tete and Harry Souttar, which have been mentioned in the title. So there we go. Hello, Rene. Hope you're doing all right. Happy you had a good birthday. Leicester didn't ruin it that much. But yeah, as I said, then we're going to quickly touch on Brighton. It was a frustrating game. I think we would have taken the point going into the game, but we were 2-1 ahead in the 87th minute or something. I don't know when exactly they scored, but the game was there. The 3 points were there. I didn't think we played particularly well, but I don't think Brighton played that well either. I did expect a bit more from Brighton. So it was a chance to beat them, and we didn't take that. But there is some positives in the sense we played all right and got a point, but I still don't think the performance was that good because I think we did get quite lucky at times. Obviously, I think they missed a big chance in the first half through the header. Don't know what centre-back it was. Solly March missed a sitter as well. Obviously, we took our chances as well, but I think we were still lacking somewhere. Obviously, it's good to see Paul Madison back in, but I don't know. Apart from that, I don't really think we can sit in and take too many positives. I don't want to be that guy, but the results all right. But if you look at the performance itself, I think Leicester. I think if we won the game 2-1, it would have been very undeserved. It would have been a lucky win because although Brighton weren't that great, I still think they deserved to get at least a point from the game. But yeah, overall it could have been worse, and I guess we take the point. But yeah, let's get into the chat then. Keep getting involved. Hopefully the stream has sorted itself out. I think it just started lagging, so I've got a lot of tabs open right now when we just start discussing some transfers about these players. What is your take on this transfer window? I think it's good, but we need more squad depth. That is right. It's good to see Kristiansen finally over the line, and hopefully we can bring in these other signings, which I think will happen. Yeah, my take on it is it's positive, but we need a bit more to make it a complete window, and I think we will. My personal opinion would be we will sign a centre-back permanently and look to potentially loan in a winger or the other way around. But I believe Leicester will at least get either a centre-back or a right winger, or fingers crossed both. But that is the thing. I don't know why it's lagging so much tonight. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, but on my side it's bloody slow. Do you know Tovan is going to Lyon if we get Tete on time? I did see about that one. We'll talk about that in a minute. But obviously we were linked with Florian Tovan a few years ago as well. But yeah, that transfer, if he does go to Lyon, could really allow Leicester to go in for Tete. Obviously he plays for Lyon. He is currently he's on loan at Lyon from Shakhtar. Like I said, we'll discuss him in about 2 to 3 minutes, boys. What to say about October? I personally brought him into my fantasy team. So did I. Ethan, for the game. And, he showed it. I think, he had Castagna on toast for most of it. Scored a fantastic goal. I had a great view if you watched the vlog. So, yeah, it was, he's a great player. And I think he's going to be a good talent. He'll probably end up at Chelsea in a few weeks. It's not lagging. That's all right, though. It's just lagging from my side. That's fine, though. I think we need a better goalkeeper. I don't really think we can blame Ward for the goals, really. I don't know. Yes, we could do with one, but I don't think it's necessary, to be fair with me, mate. Arrive at 10 mil, Harry Souttar, come on. I was surprised when we made transfers. Rodgers is more on the quiet side as we're the only one in Europe. Heard not saying in the summer. Yeah, that's true. I think the Kristiansen signing is obviously very good. It got announced just as I ended the stream on Friday night. as I said, Leicester won't announce him at 9 p.m. What happens? He gets announced at 9 p.m. But yeah, it's a good signing. We'll touch him a bit later, but hopefully we can see him involved in the game on Saturday against Walsall in the FA Cup. But it's good to see the ball rolling now, and I'm a bit more confident that we can go and bring some more people in. But 10-point haul. Hold on, there we go. 10-point haul. Leicester handing out goals for free. Charity FC, mate. Charity FC. But yeah, we don't want to talk about Brighton too much because obviously it was a few days ago now. If you want to go watch the matchday vlog, feel free to do that one. It's got about 18k views because of all the Mitoma fans, I think. So big up to Japan. Yeah, let's talk about some transfers then. We'll touch on Kristiansen a bit later. But yeah, Tete and Harry Souttar then are the big ones we are going to be discussing. And the first one is Tete. We were linked with him in the summer briefly, but not in much extent. But we have got some interesting rumours. John Percy, if you don't know, is very reliable with Leicester transfers, and he's dropped a big, John Percy at the back post has dropped a bomb. So some big news. But yeah, Tete is 22 years old. He's a right winger. He's currently playing for Lyon. He's on loan at Lyon from Shakhtar Donetsk, like I said earlier on. So far this season, he's got 6 goals and 3 assists in 17, which isn't it's all right, isn't fantastic. And like I just said, he plays on that right-hand side of midfield. But yeah, let's get a bit more of a look then on Tete with some statistics. Hopefully this can work. This is probably going to make the stream lag out, so bear with me a second. Fingers crossed no dodgy ads pops up on this one, but hopefully you can see this. So don't take this too seriously, but it is some interesting stats. If you look to this side here, these are 10 players who he's similar play style with. So you got Terrier from Rennes, who we were in with, Phil Foden, Lozano, Sterling, Mahrez, Kulusevski, Diaz, Sane, Bukayo Saka in there as well. So similar play styles, but obviously doesn't mean he's as good as them ones. But yeah, if you look towards this side, then you can see more of his stats. Just like I said, don't take this too seriously, but it is interesting. As you can see, his assists are quite high. He looks to be a very progressive winger. As you can see, his dribbles completed are quite high. Progressive passes are high. Interceptions and tackles are pretty good as well compared to other wingers. So obviously, it's only a few stats here and there, but if you just quickly base it upon that, it looks to be a player who's suited to the Rodgers system. Likes to come forward and works back quite nicely as well, and obviously does score a few goals in it as well. So yeah, it is positive. But yeah, just like I said, these stats aren't fully representational of the player, but he looks to be a good player. And as we know, he is Brazilian, so he's probably going to have that Brazilian flair in him, which Leicester really like. We don't have any South American players, do we? So obviously we're interested in Nico Gonzalez. But yeah, Tete, obviously Brazilian, skillful winger, likes to run at people, that type of thing. We'll talk a bit about the transfer itself with the transfer fee, how likely it could happen, that type of thing. But it looks like Leicester, from what I've seen, are interested in the player and are trying to get the ball rolling. And, there is a slight clause there. If Leicester can offer enough money, we could get him straight away from Lyon and he won't go back to Shakhtar. And obviously Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine is in a bit of a difficult situation with their league and stuff, obviously with the war going on. So, yeah, it's interesting to see how that one could progress. But yeah, we'll talk about the transfers itself in a minute. But yeah, let's get it into the chat. I don't feel like Onahi will be the best winger for Leicester. Sorry, as a midfield, as a centre mid, I think so. Anyway, I hope we should, couldn't we? Onahi would be a good signing though in midfield. I don't know if I'm talking about the same one here. Why would they get Frank Lampard? Really, I don't know. I don't know about Frank Lampard. I don't know about him, to be fair. Is he the right man? Probably not. Everton are getting Dutch. Yeah, I think Lampard has been sacked, hasn't he? Not pretty much officially by now, hasn't he? I hope we don't get Lampard. Yeah, I don't want Lampard. No. Bruno Lage. I don't know. I think we could do better. I just want someone. I want to find a manager like De Zerbi from Brighton. I feel like he could be, someone like that. Is it official now? All right, fair enough. We'll sort it coming anyway. So yeah, Lampard sat by Everton. Hopefully they will probably get a manager bounce, but we'll have to see how that one goes. But yeah, a bit more then on this sign, and we're going to quickly change the screen. Give me a second. It's going to lag right now because been dumb tonight. I don't know why it's been so laggy, but yeah, let's get up FOSS up then. Make sure you guys go and follow this Twitter account. It is very, very decent. It's got all the transfer news on there. So as we can see, we'll talk about Souttar a bit later. But yeah, negotiations have broken down with Fiorentina over a 25 million move for Nico Gonzalez. As we know, Leicester are now considering Shakhtar Donetsk winger Tete, who is currently on loan at Lyon, and that is reference from John Percy, who is a very, very, very reliable Leicester City source. As you can see, he's verified. His picture won't pop up. There we go. He's a Midlands reporter as well. So all things he says coming out Leicester is pretty much true. So let's go up a little bit more. So not as good of a source here, but Leicester are willing to pay 20 million to break the loan of Tete. So around 20 million it looks to be, in euros, obviously. But Leicester ready an offer according to this source. And obviously this isn't the most reliable source, even though it has 3.1 million followers, which I don't realise. But yeah, I think with John Percy officially saying that, Leicester are interested in the player, it's confirmed that Leicester are, interested in the player, because like I just said, John Percy is a very reliable source of Leicester transfer news. So I think it's clear to see that Leicester are targeting this guy. Let me get the banner back up. So I don't know what's going on tonight. Someone else is controlling this, I swear. But yeah, I think it's definitely an option we could go for. Personally, I'd be very happy with it. I think he's a very good player. And overall, we just need any type of winger right now, to be fair, don't we? Because I know Albrighton scored, didn't he? But is he really is Albrighton the man to keep us in the Premier League? Probably not. But yeah, I would take it. It could be a bit of a difficult deal to go with. Obviously, he is on loan at Lyon right now, as mentioned, from Shakhtar. But I reckon, if Leicester get the right price, the player's probably going to want to come to the Premier League. He's 22 years old, so there's a lot of growth in there, and he looks to be quite an exciting prospect. So Potter, when he gets that from Chelsea, that is who I would want. Yeah, I really want Sean Dyche in for Leicester. I'd take him if he kept us up. Yeah. Souttar looks like a really good defender. We'll discuss him in literally after I've gone through these comments. But yeah, he looks to be good. Luis Enrique, yeah, I don't think he'll come to us though. Even if he's at the back would be good. They would indeed. But yeah, talking of Harry Souttar, then let's discuss him. I've got a few notes down. Obviously, he's currently playing for Stoke City in the Championship. He's 24 years old, a centre back, as we know. If you watched the World Cup, you probably would have seen him playing very well for Australia as well. And this guy's a very big centre back. He's a proper big tank. Solid in the air, as you would assume with someone of his height. Loves the tackle. He's pretty good. He's pretty good on the ball for a big man as well. He does love a nice long pass, similar to the play style of Harry Maguire, if you catch your minds back to when he was at Leicester. So pretty good. The only thing is, the only weakness is really he is quite aggressive, but I don't really mind that, to be fair. I think, if you have two centre backs which are aggressive, I don't really mind that. Yes, they may give away a few fouls, get a few yellows now and again, but you want to have that bit of aggression, I think, in the end. It sets the tone. And to be fair, I don't like my defenders to be like a lot of soft. I want proper, hardcore defenders in there. If Leicester are going to be in this relegation battle, we need proper big centre backs in there. And I think, although Marc's done a decent job for us, I think he is, as we saw on Saturday, he is a bit of a liability in there. So if we can bring someone like Souttar in, who isn't going to be an instant fix, obviously he's coming from the Championship, so he's not an established Premier League player, but he's still 24, which is still decent. There's a bit of growth in there for him. I think he could come in and do a solid job, and slowly but surely we are shoring up this defence. Obviously with the signing of Kristiansen, Ricardo Pereira coming back to the side, Castagna in there as well. So you've got Luke Thomas as backup, and you've got Faze, potentially Souttar as starting centre backs, and you got lots of Marty and Evans to come back in as well. And even the likes of Johnny Evans, although he's not fit and he probably won't play much for Leicester again because of his injuries, he could still help the likes of Faze and Faze and Souttar if he came to develop into those into good centre backs. So yeah. Souttar looks like a really good defender. I think I said that one already, didn't I? How much is Harry Souttar worth? Leicester put a bid in for 10 million. That was rejected by Stoke last week, and according to reports, that's quite far off Stoke's valuation. So I'd probably say about 20 million-ish, maybe 15 at a push, but I doubt it. I'll probably say about 20 million, I think, will be Stoke's valuation for him. I don't know if he's actually worth that, but obviously it's all down to how much the player is worth to his club and not how much he's worth in the market. So Back midfielder, yeah, exactly that. I think that's something more for the summer, though. I can't really see Leicester going out and signing a midfielder. I think obviously it is a priority, but I think a centre back, a full back, as we've already done, and the right winger is a bit more of a priority. But yeah, to be fair, mate, I was talking to my mate earlier today about who Leicester need to sign. I think we need a striker, at least one, probably two wingers, a couple of midfielders as well, because Tielemans is going to go, Maddison's potentially going to go as well. Just like it's saying, and Diddy's, finished. You got Mendy in there, who's all right. Samara, who's decent. But then you probably want to sign probably another fullback, I think, because you can't really rely on Ricardo and Justin because they're always due a massive injury. Then you probably want another centre back as well, maybe a goalkeeper. So in the summer, Leicester, if you look like that, Leicester going to need to be signing 6-7 players, to be fair, starting players and some backup players as well. So yeah, it's going to be a summer which is busy, but I think with January, I can only really see Leicester going for two more. We've got how many? We've got about 8 days left of the window, which is still enough time to make things happen with a potential loan and a player signing, potentially Souttar. But we'll have to see how this one goes. But yeah, let's get a bit more on the actual transfers. Back to Foss Hub. So let me just quickly find the latest tweets. That's all about Tete. So we go. The Foxes are targeting Stoke City centre-back, obviously Harry Souttar, and they are working to reach an agreement for the transfer in January. Leicester City had a first bid rejected by Stoke, which was 10 million. Talks are ongoing for the Australian international. Souttar is one of the most wanted on LCFC's list. So there we go. High priority. Not the best of sources, but it's been heavily reported that Leicester are interested and have put offers in. And as we can see, John Percy has reported on this as well. Leicester's initial approach for Stoke defender Harry Souttar has been rejected, but talks are expected to resume early this week over a potential deal. So there we go. Leicester in talks with Tete, and I think Souttar won. To be fair, if you split it between Tete and Souttar, I think Souttar would be the one which is most realistic to happen. So that is how I see it happening. But yeah, we could definitely get a big update on Souttar within the next couple of days. As we've seen from that tweet, talks are starting the beginning of the week, so today onwards. So we could potentially see some news Wednesday, Thursday, even tomorrow potentially. So we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, let's get into the chat again. Let us know your thoughts, guys, on these players. Tete, Souttar, what are we thinking? Obviously, if there is a big decision, saying Leicester agree a price, I'll do a few more. I'll do a slight bit more research on the players and go a bit more in depth. But right now, we'll just push the surface. When is Ricardo actually back in the team? We seriously need him back as soon as possible before we get relegated. I believe he returned back to training last week, so I would say at least 3 to 4 weeks probably, because you don't want to rush him back in. Maybe a player manager like Evans. If you mean, no, I think that's too risky, to be fair, mate. I think that's quite risky in the relegation battle. We have missed a defender like Souttar and Ricardo, 100%. The defence has been a big hole with us, really, which is obvious. We saw that highlighted on Saturday with the Evan Fergusson goal. We should have easily dealt with that one. There's about 6 players trying to mark one. We still couldn't do it. So, yeah, classic Leicester. But yeah, there we go. I think we have pretty much gone through the 2 places we are interested in. A bit more on some outgoings then. We'll discuss that, and then we'll wrap up by doing a bit more on Victor Kristiansen and how we could fit into the side, that type of thing. Obviously, the deal has been confirmed. But yeah, some outgoings then. Jose Perez looks to be very close to join Real Betis. I think what I've heard is that from the sources, I think Perez has agreed stuff with Real Betis, but not much has been agreed between Leicester and Real Betis. So it's more of a player to club thing and not club to club thing right now, which it means it could happen. There was a bit of news around Vestergaard to Besiktas, but we did see that in the summer. Besiktas always seem to be interested in someone, but nothing ever happens. Obviously, the goalkeeper, what's his name, Stolarczyk, whatever his name is, has gone to Hartlepool on loan. I don't know how you say his name. And apart from that, I'm pretty sure that is everything with outgoing wise. I don't think Maddison's going to go to Newcastle, so we haven't heard anything from that. Tielemans will be staying at Leicester as well this window. We haven't heard anything from that. And nothing really else with any of the starting players, has there? Not much on the goalkeeper. I know someone mentioned Keylor Navas earlier on, but it's a very, it's not reliable really. And To be fair, I don't think I'll take him. I think he's past it, to be fair. But yeah, Ricardo back 2nd of February, maybe. To be fair, I don't really know. We should have gone in for Craig Dawson, cheap and wanted to really cater into Midlands. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly, it would have made sense. He would have been cheap. He's got that Premier League experience, and that's what we need right now. It's not all about these young prospects, which obviously is good and it fits the model. But sometimes you know Leicester need these good centre backs, and obviously you could say, oh, we signed Vestergaard, who's experienced, but you know this guy's playing, you know, Europa League semi final last year, wasn't he, for West Ham? And you know he's one of their best players. He's loved by West Ham fans. So yeah, it would have made sense. Obviously, he's gone to Wolves, and that's strengthened another relegation, opposition candidate, you could say. Maybe Vardy's player manager sometime in the future. Yeah, I would say Perez. I agree. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, and Nelson has joined Doncaster, which is good for him. I think he's at Rochdale before, wasn't he? So hopefully he can get a bit more minutes, progress, and that's what we need to do. And that's what I think we should do with as many loan players as possible. We should, in my opinion, we should send lots of Lewis Brunt, Katie McAteer out on loan as well. But obviously, in the recent weeks, we have needed them on the bench as well due to injuries, and you know that's the issue. There's a case of needing these players in the first team, but they also need to grow and develop as well in the Championship or League One as well. So we've got George Hurst, who is still a lesser player, surprisingly, who is on an Ipswich Town right now. So hopefully he can do some bits there. Who else is there? I don't know. I can't think. There's a few more out on loan. Obviously, Callum Wright, who left Leicester, is now playing at Plymouth, which is interesting. And apart from that, obviously, with youngsters, I think the main ones to look out for is obviously Sammy Braybrook. I think he's going to be the main one to come through, and Will Alves when he returns back from injury. George Hurst, yeah, to be fair, I agree. He seems, I don't know how old he is. He must be at least 22 by now, surely, because he's always seems like he's been around for ages, but never. I think he played against Tottenham once, didn't he, in lockdown? Apart from that, I think he came on. George Hurst is 23. Is that? To be fair, I can't see George Hurst having a future at Leicester. I really can't. You know, just like Ethan said, he's woeful. It's keep having these loan spells. At the age of 23, I think it might be a bit late. Obviously, Dewsbury came in a bit late as well, but I don't know. None of the loan spells have really clicked apart from Portsmouth. I think last year, I believe he was at Blackburn, weren't he, this year? So he's gone. That's the Championship, and he's gone back to League One. So it doesn't seem like it's really progressing that much. But yeah, I think if the Ipswich Town loan doesn't work, I think we'll probably sell him, which is probably the right thing to do. I think there is quite a few youngsters now who are progressing. Also, we have got some old ones in there. We've got Wanya Marcel. There's a few of us in there. If you cast your minds back to Watford in the FA Cup last year, that a few of them obviously played in that game, didn't they? Better culture for centre back. If Southampton go down next year and we stay up, I'd take him. Yeah, but if Southampton stay up, unless or if he's still in the Premier League next year for Southampton, I can't see him leaving. Let's just guess. Yeah, I think he's a good centre back there. But yeah, I understand your point there. Big Ryan Bertrand. Do you remember when Leicester trying to sign flipping Elyounoussi in the summer? Jesus Christ, that was prime Leicester, weren't it? But we have got the previous Southampton head of recruitment, aren't we? But so far, hopefully, the signing of Victor Kristiansen can work out. Just to wrap it up, then we will just be discussing Victor Kristiansen a little bit. Obviously, we've already gone through what type of player he is, etc. But a bit more on how he can fit into the team, that type of thing. Yeah, let's catch up to the chat. Why is it a loan for Tete for 20 million? I think it's a permanent signing with Tete's on loan at Lyon, but I believe it will be a permanent signing. So yeah, I want Everton to go for Rodgers for the new manager. Maybe, but I doubt it. You never know. I don't think he'll go there though, would he? I think he'll go replacement for Harvey with Che Adams. No, I think Che Adams is. I think we were trying to get Che Adams 2 years ago, weren't we? But no, I don't think so. Yes, yeah, I think it's that, isn't it? I think it's 20 million ish. But I think what I've heard is that Tate's keen to come to the Premier League as well. Obviously, he's only 22. He's playing quite well, to be fair. And let me get what did he get again? 6 goals, 3 assists, which ain't look too bad so far this year. It's pretty decent, isn't it, for a winger? Obviously, it depends on how Lyon play. So we'll have to see. I need to watch some clips of him. Hopefully, is that relating to Rodgers to Everton? There we go. But yeah, Victor Kristiansen then. Obviously, officially a Leicester City player. Would you guys want to see him start on Saturday in the FA Cup against Walsall away? Would be a proper debut in English football at the Mascot Stadium. Yeah, finally it's over the line. He looks to be a good, promising player, long-term contract, and I believe he'll be involved quite quickly. I think the only thing with him, though, fitness-wise, is that I think he was in Copenhagen's pre-season because they had a big winter break, so I think he's not fully match fit, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Just focus on getting Souttar and Tete in January. I do agree with that one. Looks like the former Leeds United manager, Bielsa. Wow. Is it him or not? For Everton. Jesus. That would be mad. I heard that Maurizio Sarri was linked with it, but I don't think he'll go there, would he? The guy would be smoking it every minute, wouldn't he? There, but yeah, I think Everton are doomed. To be fair, I can't see him staying up. It reminds me quite a lot of Sunderland because Sunderland were playing with relegation for a few years in a row. You always saw them going down. And yeah, I think it's another massive club, massive ground, big fan base. I think the same could happen to Everton, sadly, but we'll have to see. It's going to be close though towards the end. It really is. Obviously, Leicester are still 14th somehow, but a few losses and we'll be down there. And as we've said a few times, we've got some really difficult games coming up. A big game on Saturday. I will be at the game, so hopefully we can get the W. But yeah, I know it's only the FA Cup, but a bit of confidence could be good to back this result up against Brighton, which all in all, a point against Brighton isn't a bad result at all. If you look on the surface, but if you look a bit deeper with the performance, there is a bit of improvement. But you could say it's a step in the right direction, but it's not that promising. I'm trying to be positive, boys. I'm trying to be positive. Why are we so slow at making transfers? Well, Chelsea, to be fair. I wouldn't really compare us to Chelsea with their transfers. But I think Leicester are doing all right. If we can sign 2 more players, I think 3 players in total, potentially hopefully sell at least Perez or Vestergaard. I think that would be a pretty successful window, in my opinion. Obviously, recent years we don't really do anything, so at least we've got 1 guy in the door. Two more additions for me, and I would say that's a pretty good window and a successful first window for Martin Glover, the new head of recruitment at Leicester. Obviously, it depends on how well these players play for us, how settled in, that type of thing, performances, all of that good stuff. But yeah, we are going to wrap up tonight's show, boys, in just about a minute time. So just before you do depart off the stream start, make sure to go and drop a like. It massively does help out the channel. Lots of content on the way. If any of these transfers do develop over the next couple of days, I'll be going live as always at 8:30 to discuss all of them. Friday night will be the Walsall preview. Saturday will obviously be the Walsall vlog, and Saturday night or Sunday night will be the Walsall match reaction. So lots of stuff on the way, and hopefully by then we would have made a few more additions to the squad. Obviously, Kristiansen got confirmed on Friday night, and as around this time we started to see some rumours that a deal was agreed. So, yeah, in my opinion, though, I reckon we will sign at least one of Souttar or Tete, but you never know, we may see someone else coming out the blue because Leicester do have a few different options in there. So, yeah, it should be good, boys. It should be good. But yeah, if you guys got any final questions, let us know in the chat. Big thanks to you boys for coming in as always. Cheers, Leicester fan. Thank you for your questions, your comments, all that good stuff. And yeah, go watch the Brighton vlog if you haven't already. It's doing quite well. So that is good stuff. A bit of positives from there. Big up to the Japan audiences. But yeah, obviously the vlog will be there on Saturday. Any of you guys going on Saturday as well? Should be a cracking away day at Walsall and a bit even late. Thank you for coming in. And yeah, I'm just waffling so we can get to the half an hour mark to make it the Foxes 30, not the Foxes 29. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, boss. Right. Cheers for coming in, boys and girls. We reached half an hour. Cheers, Renault, mate. Hope you have a good rest of the day yourself. And I'll see you boys in the next one. I'm a sports son. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Go and drop a like. You'd help it out. And I'll see you boys in the next one. In a bit, lads.